tell I'm in denial?
You can't stay at the top forever.
I was also very surprised when I looked at my phone and saw Joe Girardi dismissed.
Well, I think mine were with common sense.
I think now belongs in the all-time greats top 10.
Boston, I really think only got to this point because of a guy named Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks.
That power play just was unbearable. It was humming.
Man, am I happy. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back.
When I think of New York Yankees now is Judge, probably people in the past when Jeter was coming up.
I would be shocked. A little bit hurt.
Hey, this is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, TexasFootball.com, and Valley Sports Southwest. You are listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our March Madness Opinions of the Week. We are doing this since we're doing March Madness coverage. There will be an update on the bracket challenge, but that is not this video. We're talking about the 5 biggest upsets. And here with the number one podcaster in our bracket, Austin.
Yeah, I don't know. My bracket's not doing that well in the challenge, but at least our group one is doing much better. But again, like Kevin just stated, we will be going over that in a different video. There's been a lot of shocking upsets. Some of them are much bigger than we anticipated. Even though we in our group did have a 15 seed winning, we did not have the right one, and then obviously with a 16 seed winning, I mean, it's almost unheard of. Obviously, there's been one other time, but
which was in our Outsiders Opinions. Are you ready for the Madness trailer?
It was, and we may have to add another one to that. So next year, be looking out for a brand new one of that. But let's get into it. What is our 5th biggest upset?
Oh, 5th. Okay, I thought we were going to know. Okay, yeah. 5th is Kansas versus Arkansas or Arkansas.
Yeah, this is a game as someone who very much wanted Arkansas to win. It was a very good game. And through the injuries that have been dealt to Arkansas this year, Nick Smith not being 100%, Trayvon Brazile not being 100%. Obviously, Brazile's still out. Nick Smith didn't look 100% in the game, but the defense came to play, and they out-rebounded Kansas by a good bit. There was a lot of fouls in the game, but Arkansas was hitting their free throws and doing everything necessary to win. And this was definitely shocking considering that Kansas won the chip last year.
Yes, and it's shocking to me. I had it up based on just like Arkansas's ranking this year in the SEC because they were ranked pretty high, but they failed. I had it. They just slowly fell down the top 25 rankings, but
yeah, and then they didn't do all that hot in the SEC. But again, the injuries piled up. But now they're healthy. They have experience. They know how to react to the pressure that March brings, and they played well.
I finally got it. They were ranked number 9, I believe, in the SEC.
Yeah.
So below Florida, Auburn, Vanderbilt, which I don't think Vanderbilt even made the tournament.
Yeah, neither did Florida or some of the other teams.
Yeah.
In the SEC.
At the beginning of the year, I would have expected this, but just now I was like, man, I don't think Arkansas is good enough. But that's why it makes the upset list.
Yeah.
Because Kansas.
Yeah. And injuries matter during the season, but if you can get healthy at the right time, like Arkansas has, they're a scary team. But now on to number 4, we have Princeton over Mizzou. And the reason why this is only number 4 is because after the first game against Arizona, which is definitely on this list, we expected more from them, but still, the 8 seed lines separate from 15 to 7, and Mizzou looked dominant in their win over Utah State, but here they just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, Kobe Brown wasn't really doing well, and to me, Princeton was just on fire from 3, which I was a little bit nervous with our pick with Mizzou over Utah State, but they did a great job defending the 3-point line, and I think Mizzou is just really tired defensively because to me, it's their first year and it's a bunch of transfers. They rely heavily on hustle, and just like Princeton was out hustling them.
Yeah, and I think that the fact of the matter that they still can't rebound even against an Ivy League school is something that they have to address coming into next season. Whether it's a lot of the same players or not, they're just going to have to adjust rebounding.
Well, yeah, DeAndre Golston's gone, Demoy Hodge gone, Nick Honor gone, Kobe Brown's probably going to be gone. So yeah, to me, it's going to be like a whole entire roster. But yeah, so no, yeah, Princeton just did a heck of a job and really played well. Now we go to Furman versus Virginia.
Virginia literally threw this game away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, I didn't watch it live. I think I was watching the Mizzou Utah State game. But yeah, seeing the replay, I just don't know what that guy was thinking.
They had a timeout, and now in college, while the game is going on, coaches cannot call a timeout. They need their players to call a timeout. I didn't know if you knew that, Kevin. But
I did not know that.
If you were like, why didn't the coach call a timeout? Because they had one. No, the coach can't call a timeout when the play's going on. But someone on the team or him himself needed to call a timeout. He obviously thought he could make a heroic pass. And as someone who did watch this live, as someone who was always high on Furman, and I know we didn't pick him in our draft or in our bracket partially because of me, I've been high on that team. Slausson's an amazing player. He played amazing basketball as well. But that's an historic play. That's one of the best. I would argue just pure one play. That is probably the best play so far in the tournament, at least as part of like hype and everything else, because that was basically a buzzer beater.
Yeah, it was a heck of a play. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was the second round. I thought there was. I have no idea what game I'm thinking of, but it was one. I have no idea. But yeah, it was definitely crazy. And isn't this the second time Virginia's been knocked out in the first round since they won the championship?
Yes, they've only. Well, I think it's actually
because there was the 16 seed.
Well, that was before they won the championship.
Oh, okay.
But
there's some stat.
Yeah, they lost to Ohio. I know, not last year, but the year before that. And then they've definitely had their March Madness woes, and they were pretty lucky on that run, which I think I mentioned in the Jake interview there. But which again, I know that's a really long time ago. But if you guys haven't seen it, I'll name drop that. But
feels like a long time ago, but it was probably only like 3 weeks ago when that was posted.
Yeah,
less than 3 weeks.
It's been a lot of stuff's happened in the sports world, so
like Princeton upsetting Arizona.
Yeah, and as someone who's very high on Arizona, this loss is brutal. This is down to coaching. They had everything they needed to win this game. They were up 10 with 8 minutes left, but they just didn't put them away. They almost looked sluggish out there. They looked like they were uncommitted. They didn't go to their guys with a hot hand. They just stick with Kirk Krissa and some other guards that were not playing well instead of going to the big men. And they did this to themselves. This was more of an Arizona beating Arizona than Princeton beating Arizona. And, I mean, that's how it works sometimes. Teams beat themselves, and that's what happened here.
Yeah, like Princeton didn't do anything crazy. They shot 16% from three. They had 11 turnovers compared to Arizona's 13 turnovers. And then they had only had one more rebound against Arizona, which when you have two big men with Arizona, you should rebound more. But it wasn't like with like St. Peter's last year, they were just nailing every single three or ace miss when they upset Ohio State. To me, it just is wacky, but it's still a huge upset.
Yeah, huge upset, and Arizona did it to themselves. And now on to the one everyone knows what's coming. I mean, it's no surprise. Fairleigh Dickinson beating Purdue, but this was more Fairleigh Dickinson beating Purdue than Purdue beating Purdue. They had a great game plan, and that's why Tobin Anderson is now going to Iona after Rick Pitino is leaving for St. John's. The game plan here, knowing that, and this is why we weren't high on Purdue in our tournament prediction. We had them losing the second game to Memphis. Purdue is a team that's relying on one guy, and when you have someone like that, no matter what level, it's the reason why Oral Roberts lost to Duke so bad is because they were triple teaming Ace Smith as it came up to court. But in this instance, they just denied Zach Edey, and they knew that their size was a disadvantage in slow possession games, so they decided to speed it up, and it worked out very well for them. as I saw the game going on and I saw their confidence growing and how they were playing, I wasn't surprised by the result.
And the thing that also surprises me is it wasn't like Purdue underestimated them, or maybe they did, but FDU, I can't remember the coach's name, but they
Tobin
called
Anderson.
out
I just said,
Purdue.
yeah.
Huh?
Tobin Anderson.
Tobin Anderson. Okay, yeah. Tobin Anderson, or someone releases a video so Purdue can see it. Tobin Anderson says, I've watched Purdue. We will beat them, or we can beat them.
He said, the more I watch Purdue, the more I think we can beat them, is what he said.
Okay, thank you. And self-belief. But, like, usually you've seen where that goes wrong, where, like, a player's like, man, we're so much better than this team, and then they get creamed. Purdue actually loses. Like, you had the fuel right there for you, Purdue. Like,
I think
they think they're better than you.
I think this is a big coaching issue. In the last 3 seasons, Purdue has lost to a 13-seeded UNT, a 15-seeded St. Peter's, and now a 16-seeded Fairleigh Dickinson. And he got outcoached. This is FDU actually beating Purdue, not like
Oh yeah, I agree.
One. The game plan that FDU had was impeccable, and Purdue got outcoached. And while I think Arizona also got outcoached by Princeton, it was more of the fact that Arizona could have changed. While Purdue, what FDU was doing was defensive schemes to stop Zach Edey, and Purdue was built to get the ball to Zach Edey, and that's about it. And they just need a little bit of the guys who aren't as good to go cold, which they did, and that was it. Purdue scoring only 58 points to get to 16 seed is not a good look for a university that is supposed to be really good at basketball.
Yeah, like, and we had him going in the second round, but still, it was still very shocking. And Zach Edey, I don't think, touched the ball in the final 5 minutes or something.
I think he touched the ball a couple times, but they denied him on offense. I think he grabbed a couple rebounds, but the thing was they couldn't get him the ball on offense. He's obviously too slow to bring the ball up. So
yeah,
they just ball denied him, and they played impeccable.
Yeah, it was incredible. And now we're seeing. I'm very interested to see what he does at Iona.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yep. Those are our biggest upsets. What more will come? We'll keep you updated. And thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.